please stand for the posting of colors.
Detail, attention, come. Present, arm.
Good morning. Thank you to the Kankakee County Sheriff's Police Honor Guard, Patrol Commander Craig Anderson from the Bradley Police Department for the posting of colors, and thank you to Illinois State Police pipes and drones. We're here this morning to honor our brother Zeb. 1 year ago, everybody in this room was stunned when we received the news of his passing. Not a day goes by in our department that Zeb's name isn't brought up in one way or another. His name is usually followed by laughter or a smile, because that's the effect he had on people. After the shock, Zeb continued to have a positive influence on our entire department, as our department partnered with Riverside Hospital and became involved in a pilot project called Healthy Heroes. The program provided testing for deputies that identified potential health issues such as blood pressure testing, cholesterol testing, and body mass index. I can only see Zeb's face as he laughs as our deputies were ribbing each other about their body mass. It also included a class on how to manage stress. The program has been a huge benefit for all of us. And it's been a big benefit for those who have worked side by side with Zeb. Because as we went through those tests, the only person we really thought of was Zeb. We know this is what Zeb would have wanted, to continue to protect his brothers and sisters. The program is expanding this summer to include our corrections division as well later this year. As Zeb's name now becomes a permanent fixture on our memorial wall, we cherish the memories and are reminded every day of our friend and brother. We will never forget.
I'd like to welcome everyone to the 2016 Kankakee Area Law Enforcement Memorial Service. Please stand for the posting of the colors by the Kankakee County Area Honor Guard. And now, for the National Anthem, the voice of the Blackhawks, Jim Cornelison. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave. Order up! It is my distinct honor, and we are extremely privileged to have him here today. Ladies and gentlemen, retired Kankakee County Sheriff Tim Bukowski.
He hadn't mentioned that, I was going to mention the fact that I am retired. Well, good morning. I don't know about you, but Jim Cornelison's rendition of the National Anthem certainly rekindles the pride that I think all of us hold for this country. Throughout our nation's history, we've faced serious challenges over and over again. Now we must confront the issue of public policing in America and how that will force each of us out of our comfort zone. Law enforcement officers make a conscious decision when they choose this as a career to knowingly participate in a profession that compromises their own safety. Many of these men and women express a desire to serve their communities in a helpful and service-oriented manner. It's consistent the observation and character trait that I witness over and over again in my profession. Former United States Attorney General Robert Kennedy once said that every society gets the kind of criminal that it deserves. What is equally true, he said, is that every community gets the kind of law enforcement that it insists upon. We serve our communities. The characterization that cops are law enforcement officers is only partially true. Sir Robert Peel, over 2 centuries ago, helped to shape what today we know as public policing. He often quoted a role of the community police and said that the police are the public and the public are the police. Police perform duties which are incumbent upon every citizen in the interest of their community and existence. Maybe it's got something to do with the whatever it is, 35 million laws that we have made to try and condense the 10 Commandments. The public today continues to struggle with wide-ranging expectations that the police should be capable of handling every situation, every time in 10 minutes or less, for someone else's satisfaction. You can't encapsulate every social skill ranging from a psychologist to a social worker that would include the skill set of a lawyer, the patience of a counselor, into one person and call him or her a police officer. The state of Illinois requires that police officers go through 12 weeks of basic training. During that brief training, the recruit is exposed to rudimentary courses that include sirens, constitutional law, controlling a detainee, interacting with the mentally ill, being a medic, a marksman, an active shooter responder, interviewer, and on and on. Police are used to all kinds of equipment. They're issued radios, handcuffs, computers, firearms, and that list also goes on. I often wonder who forgot the time outer tool that we should have to be able to slow things down in a situation where there's a crisis and people are yelling and screaming for the police to do something. And where was that teleporter tool that we could ask for and get more resources when the event was there? The citizens of every community have an obligation themselves to make our community safer. The police will never be able to be successful if they operate in a vacuum without the community's support and interaction. The police are citizens too. They're your baseball coaches, they sit on school boards, they're the nuts that jump into the water in January for the Special Olympics. They get involved with Shop with the Cop. They serve as church volunteers, and that list goes on and on. The police play a major role not only in making our community safer through enforcement efforts, but also serving as an example to the community that we work and live in. There are no absolutes in the social sciences. The formula for a healthy and vibrant community is built upon a foundation of trust and communication. These are challenging times for law enforcement. These past 2 years have witnessed an undermining of the confidence of the citizens throughout the United States. Baltimore, New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, Ferguson. A community should hold their police to the highest standards. Former Supreme Court Justice Earl Warren perhaps best said it when he said that the police must obey the law when they enforce the law. But the public shares in that responsibility with the police to keep it viable and safe from harm. The failure of some portions of our community to hold others accountable for their actions undermines all of our safety. I don't know why it is that some people believe that the police should be able to fix every situation. Many of the things that police run into are societal. The breakdown of the family unit, learning disabilities in school, issues with mental health, socioeconomic inequalities, and any other issues which inevitably land in the lap of law enforcement. So often they do turn violent. Over the past 25 years, 1.6 persons a day were murdered every day in the city of Chicago. 15,000 people in 25 years in America's third largest city. We are forced to confront the abuse of power by a very small segment of law enforcement. But it's a real problem, and so is the fact that 15,000 people are killed in Chicago. We're often criticized for what is commonly referred to as the code of silence. But in many of our own neighborhoods throughout this country, that very same code exists when children are taught to not talk to the police. Today we're here to remember and honor the men and women in law enforcement who died in the performance of an extremely dangerous and challenging profession. We pause to honor the men and women who put on their uniforms every day to make the rest of us safe. We pause today to thank those in law enforcement for their sacrifices and their commitment to our communities. We pause today to remember the 20,000 plus police officers in America who have died since the inception of this nation. And we pause to honor the 900,000 men and women who today wear the uniform of a police officer in this great country. We pause today to thank the men and women in law enforcement for all that they do every day to make our communities better and to make us all safer. So thank you, and God bless you.
And now for the roll call of our fallen officers. Sheriff Mike Downey in Kankakee County and Lieutenant Jason Bukowski, Illinois State Police.
November 27th, 1913, Officer August Dickman, Kankakee Police Department. June 18th, 1946, Trooper Marvin C. Archer, Illinois State Police, District 21. September 28th, 1946, Marshal Charles F. Brinkman, Shabance Police Department. December 28th, 1952, Trooper Glenn Gagnon, Illinois State Police, District 21. September 4th, 1959, Investigator George Giambiasi, Illinois Department of Conservation. November 17th, 1962, Officer George Lazat Sr., Kankakee Police Department. October 21st, 1966, Officer Robert Hart, Kankakee Police Department. September 21st, 1967, Trooper Warren Allen, Illinois State Police, District 21. November 18th, 1969, Chief Deputy Norman Hanson, Kankakee County Sheriff's Police. August 30th, 1974, Chief Rudy Danduran, St. Anne Police Department. April 7th, 1979, Trooper Michael K. McCarter, Illinois State Police, District 21. February 27th, 1986, Correctional Officer Jerome Combs, Kankakee County Sheriff's Police. August 8th, 1989, Auxiliary Officer Richard Virgin, Bradley Police Department. October 17th, 1996, Officer Anthony Samfay, Kankakee Police Department. November 20th, 1997, Sergeant Will Lewis, Bradley Police Department.
Thank you. In closing, I would like to thank everyone for attending. This show of family really supports not only ourselves, but the Gold Star family members. And they look around and they see uniforms like a wall of support.